mom.
What did she do?
I've never. And anytime people ask me about your mom, I say, that's not my business.
What happened?
My mom and her mom, they were best friends. They were both in the childcare industry, and they both, gave tips to each other back and forth. My mom, now her location was going under foreclosure, and her mom went behind my mom's back, and she bought it as soon as it went on foreclosure. That is absolutely true. Stop. This is how my mom found out that her mom bought her best friend's business, when we drove past it. And they were taking down my mom's sign, putting up her mother's sign.
They weren't talking for years prior to my mom buying that business.
That's absolutely not true.
You lying right now. They were not talking for some other stuff that happened that I don't want to speak on.
Another great lie. That's not true.
Why did they initially?
I don't want to speak on it because then it's really going to go left.
Okay.
That mom stuff is deep-rooted.
Hold on. Okay.
It did not just start with a daycare purchase.
I understand.
Y'all, I really tried to stay quiet on this one, but when best friends start throwing shade on camera and blasting each other on Instagram, you know it's time to talk. So here's what went down. Portia Williams and Shemaya Morton, once inseparable, are now acting like sworn enemies after the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. The wild part? This fight didn't just appear out of nowhere. It built up for weeks and finally exploded after Portia went to Instagram with what looked like a full-on PowerPoint presentation to set the record straight. She dropped photos, clips, captions, videos, and even a bridesmaid picture, all to prove she did go to Shemaya's wedding. Portia claimed she was right there in the ceremony, that she sent flowers when Shemaya joined the cast, called to congratulate her, and always supported her success. But then Shemaya fired right back in the comments, and that's when things got messy.
Honestly, resolve and possibly salvage a friendship.
Possibly.
Well, I would like to salvage our friendship. Yeah, because what you're saying now, it feels like you're being dismissive.
What is happening, Shemaya? Okay, listen.
It feels like everything I'm saying, you're dismissive.
What I'm trying to do is have a productive conversation, because I don't want to argue with you.
But look at how you respond. If I did nonverbal communications like,
okay,
you would feel like I was dismissing your feelings.
She said Portia didn't show up to her actual wedding in Kenya, and that what Portia attended was only her traditional ceremony in Atlanta. She also clarified that the flowers Portia bragged about were for her birthday, not to celebrate her joining RHOA. Now everyone's wondering, who's really telling the truth? Who's rewriting the story? And how did a longtime friendship turn this ugly? Let's rewind and unpack it, because the timeline is more tangled than a group chat after reunion night. Portia and Shemaya used to be tight, like real-life best friends. They showed up for each other through it all, laughed together, and built that sister-type bond everyone admired. But when part 2 of the reunion aired, things went from zero to chaos. Right after it aired, Portia jumped on Instagram and started dropping what she called slide 1, line number 1.
About people viewing you as Portia's lapdog.
You know what? They say lapdog, I say loyalty. And I'll never feel bad about being a loyal and a good friend, because when I exited the friendship after being that lapdog or that loyal person, I can feel good about it knowing that, you know what? I treated this friendship like I would have wanted her to treat it, and I have no regrets.
Well, I hope that I hope this is a bump and not a stop.
I'm gonna leave that up to her, because for me, I am stopping.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything more. I'm done. At this point, it's mercy. Like, grace has already been extended. I want some things to be reciprocated to me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want some of that same loyalty, because I didn't know that we were beefing even. I didn't know that she didn't come to my wedding because we were apparently beefing. So we were beefing, then why would you come to the one in Atlanta and not the one in Kenya? It's just a lot of confusion, and I hate it.
Okay. I do too.
The first slide was a video clip from Shemia's first ceremony. Portia was right there as a bridesmaid, smiling next to her friend. Her caption read, "Queen to Ma Moggy's first wedding. I'm by her side as a bridesmaid, Atlanta, Georgia." Then came slide 2, lie number 2. This one showed a screenshot of flowers Portia said she sent to Shemaya. The card read, "Congratulations," and she claimed that message was about Shemaya getting her peach and officially joining Real Housewives of Atlanta. She even included a screenshot of an old Instagram post where she'd celebrated Shamia's new opportunity and called her "my bestie leveling up." To Portia, this was solid proof that she'd always been supportive. Her post was neat, organized, and looked airtight, like a defense lawyer's exhibit list. But baby, Shamia wasn't letting that narrative fly. Right under that post, Shamia jumped into the comments with her own truth.
If anyone wants to set any intentions today,
I just want to step to the plate with each lady with truth.
why would you say you would Angela's husband?
Who told you that?
That wasn't how it happened.
This is a pattern of lying.
Lying about what?
Oh, a folder.
You done bought the whole file cabinet, child. You feel ready?
Yeah.
She wrote, "Girl, I had one wedding in Nairobi, Kenya. What you attended was my regular ceremony in my mom's backyard." Boom! Just like that, she called out Portia for trying to pass off a pre-wedding event as the main ceremony. Then she hit her with a line that had Bravo fans gasping. "Keep your fake receipts and your fake friendship."
My point, because I
Okay.
need to get to where I'm going, because this is very important
I would love to address
and very
all that.
detrimental to our future, right? So, like I said, you knew the fans knew I didn't come. So they had already been saying, oh, she's not a good friend, she didn't come to the wedding. That was how many years ago? And we have shared a beautiful friendship.
We have.
A beautiful friendship. Like, I love you, Shamia. I really do. So for me to now see that you decided to form an alliance with the two girls, the
Girl,
very
I
two...
tried to include you in the alliance.
No, you did
Yes,
not.
I did.
That is not true. Wait,
And then to talk about, I'm
I'm
trying
gonna
to
be heard
sabotage you
today. I'm
becoming
gonna be
on-
heard
Okay,
today.
girl,
And if you don't want me to be heard,
Okay.
then you don't even
I
care
mean,
about what this is.
I think you've already said
But what
that
I'm
this
not, I'm
ain't
not
you.
finished. We are going to be.
Okay.
I'm going to be heard
Okay,
because
go
I came
ahead.
here for the truth today. In every situation, I have owned things. I have took accountability, and this I want to clear up,
Okay.
Shamia, because I want to know why you did some of the things you did.
Okay.
Now, that wasn't a little shade. That was a thunderstorm. Shamia didn't stop there either. She accused Portia of only reaching out after filming had started. She said those so-called congratulations flowers arrived during her birthday week, long after she'd already been holding that peach. In Shamia's words, "Since I got my peach, you've been finding reasons to end this friendship." She made it sound like she'd been cheering Portia on for years, only to get painted as a traitor once she got her own shine. Her message came across like, "You've been jealous, and now it's showing." After that, the friendship was officially over. Both women grabbed metaphorical shovels and started burying what was left of their bond. Of course, Portia wasn't staying quiet either. She hopped back on her Instagram stories and came swinging again. First, she reposted a clear photo of that flower card so fans could see the word "congrats" printed on it. Then, she posted a dictionary definition of wedding, complete with an explanation of what counts as an actual wedding ceremony, a direct dig at Shamia's Kenya comment. And if that wasn't enough, she took things up a notch. She literally asked ChatGPT to define what a traditional Kenyan wedding includes and tagged Shamia in the process. She ended that story with, "I was happy to be in your first wedding, boo," followed by a crying laughing emoji, a peach emoji, and the "you ate" emoji. Because of course. The internet wasted no time jumping in. Some said Portia came with solid receipts, videos, photos, timestamps, all the things. They called it proof that she wasn't lying. Others weren't buying it at all. They said Portia was trying too hard to control the narrative, calling her moves textbook deflection. A few fans even said it felt like gaslighting, like Portia was using technicalities to twist the truth in her favor. Normally, this kind of drama would stay in DMs or group texts, but Bravo clearly saw a storyline opportunity. Next thing you know, it became part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and that's where things really blew up. Once the cameras started rolling, the tension was thick. It wasn't just a few shady side eyes or slick comments. This was a full-blown emotional showdown. During the reunion, Portia dropped a bomb. She claimed Shamia had been forming alliances behind her back with other castmates. According to Portia, Shamia, Kelly and Britt were suddenly moving as one tight-knit trio, coordinating off-camera, sharing information, and leaving her out of group decisions. She said she'd even caught them whispering, texting, and doing side meetups during filming, stuff that made her feel iced out. To Portia, that betrayal cut deep. At one point, Shemaya told her, "I tried to include you too," when Portia called her out for linking up with the new girls. It sounded innocent, but the second that line dropped, you could feel the room shift. To Portia, that was confirmation, proof that an alliance really did exist. The expression on her face said it all. Portia's been through plenty of Bravo reunions, but this time she didn't look like she was playing for the cameras. She looked genuinely hurt. And no matter how calm she tried to stay, it was clear she felt like Shemaya used their friendship for access, riding Portia's coattails into RHOA, and then turning her back once she secured her spot. Of course, Kenya Moore and Angela couldn't resist chiming in. They both posted nearly identical messages on their stories. Don't pick sides until you know the full story. Some people are experts at making others look bad. Now, whenever Kenya posts something cryptic like that, fans know there's drama bubbling beneath the surface. People immediately started analyzing every word. Were they shading Portia for manipulating the audience, or were they warning folks about Shemaya playing victim? No one knew for sure, but the fact that two castmates posted the same type of message on the same day, yeah, something big was brewing off camera. Just when everyone thought it couldn't get messier, the rumor mill started spinning at full speed. A gossip site, Media Takeout, claimed to have an exclusive, saying Shemaya Morton was fired from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That headline sent fans into a frenzy. People started checking her Instagram, scanning her bio, and comparing screenshots from weeks before. Some claimed she'd removed RHOA from her profile, taking it as proof she'd been dropped. Others pointed out she hadn't promoted the reunion much, saying her energy online felt like she already knew something was coming. But here's the truth, that bio change rumor? Totally false. I personally checked screenshots from March, and Shemaya never had Real Housewives of Atlanta listed in her bio to begin with. So that narrative about her quietly deleting it after the reunion, pure internet fiction. That said, it doesn't mean she's automatically safe. Bravo is known for quietly reshuffling the cast without warning. Until there's an official statement or an updated lineup, that fired rumor is just speculation. Now, fans are completely split down the middle. Some say both Portia and Shemaya are doing the exact thing they once accused Drew of, twisting the truth to fit their side. Others are standing strong behind Portia, claiming Shemia's acting bitter and that Portia's just defending her name. The alliance talk has really stirred things up. Some viewers believe Portia's upset because she's not the center of attention anymore. Others insist Shemaya switched up the moment she got her peach, that she's been plotting her rise since camera started rolling. One fan tweeted, "So y'all admit there was an alliance? Why would Shemaya say she tried to include Portia if there wasn't something to include her in?" Another replied, "Why would Portia need to be part of an alliance? It's her show. She's the fan favorite, not some newbie trying to get noticed." The debate is endless, and with Kenya and Angela dropping vague hints, fans are left guessing who's truly guilty and who's just better at playing the game. At the end of the day, when friendships fall apart on camera, it stops being just a show. It starts feeling personal. That's what makes this situation so intense. The Portia and Shemaya fallout isn't just about one argument, one wedding, or one shady post. It's about what happens when real-life friendships collide with reality TV fame. We've seen this pattern before on RHOA. Nene and Cynthia were like sisters until they weren't. Kenya and Phaedra had brief peace before turning into full-blown rivals. Candy and Portia went through their own unforgettable feud. The truth is, once Bravo cameras start rolling, friendships change, loyalties shift, and sometimes, no matter how deep a bond once was, fame, pressure, and producers can twist everything out of shape. So where does this leave us? Right now, the internet is divided, emotions are high, and the truth is buried somewhere under a mountain of screenshots and hashtags. Did Portia exaggerate? Possibly. Did Shemaya stretch her version too? Probably. The reality lies somewhere in between. What's clear is that these two women once cared deeply for each other, and now their friendship has turned into a headline. Bravo might love the ratings, but for Portia and Shemaya, this drama probably hurts more than it entertains. So y'all tell me, do you think Shemia's really getting the boot? Or is Bravo just stirring the pot for views? And did Portia go too far with all those receipts? Or was she just defending her name like anyone would? Either way, one thing's for sure. The Real Housewives of Atlanta never fails to deliver drama that's equal parts painful and fascinating. Friendship, loyalty, and fame. That's a dangerous mix. Whose side are you on? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reality tea.